What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Dog Benfica Podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumaças, coming to you live tonight. With me also, Cristiano Oliveira. Cristiano, what's happening?
Como é que é, pá?
Everything is good with you?
No, I'm looking at myself in the screen and I look like black and white. It looks like I don't know.
Black and white.
Que isso? Yeah,
No,
right?
it's good. It's just too much lighting.
Look like I got no color in me, right? I need some suntan. I need to hang out.
You're all right. You're all right.
Yeah, it looks worse.
Maybe it's the jersey behind you that kind of makes it look worse a little bit. That it's that color, but you're okay. You're okay. I can tell you.
Into, bro. I need to hang out with what's my man's from the Jersey Shore, Mike. What's his name?
Situation.
Paulie D. Hang out with the situation, Mike, and go tanning. I need to get some color in me, bro. But what's up?
I'm glad to be back. Same old.
Dave. Our brother from, what is it, the other side of the border?
Dave's here with us.
I look better now. Look at that. Fredo, there's some color in me. Yo, you're a magician, bro. Tu trabalhas bem com pincel. Good job. Oh, no. Agora...
All right, we'll just leave it at that. That's the natural color.
It looks beautiful, bro.
Dave, what's happening, brother?
Nothing much. Good to be back on. I did a lot of homework this past week. I caught up on Ted Lasso after Chris gave the Nate the Great shout out, so I understand the reference now. But spoiler alert, he's turning into a little prick that Nate in season 2. But
I haven't gotten to see. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
Don't spoil it. He's gonna get Ted. He's gonna get Ted fired.
I don't know.
Trying to get his job, huh? That's usually how it goes.
Wait, is Nate the assistant? No.
The Kitman.
I'm almost. I got 6 episodes in season 2.
What's that saying? No nice deed goes
unpunished.
Unpunished. It's like, when Steve brought me to the podcast to join you guys, and I kicked him out. Took a spot. Steve Santos, shout out.
You didn't kick out him. You kick out the other guy, whose name will remain.
Here we go.
Whose name will remain nameless.
Dave, these guys love getting me in trouble. I didn't kick. What me kicked out? I mean, I've been part of this podcast forever now, and I don't think I've ever made a decision. So. Why would I? Whatever. He said,
anyway,
what's up?
Everything is good, man.
Hello,
Want to say hello to all the Freddys already in the chat. Bruno Rodrigues, Cesar da Silva, Timo, Cristiano Liborio, Tiago,
my man.
Cristiano Liborio. By the way, man, I follow you on Instagram, and I love your recipes, man.
Yeah,
great stuff.
I told him one time I was gonna unfollow him because guys not fun, especially when you're on a diet. You guys met água na boca, man.
No, it was good, man. It's good recipes and simple, easy stuff to make. For me, sou zero à esquerda na cozinha. Not like Timo. Timo's got the whole garden. He's playing with the whole garden. It's hard. It's tough.
That's not a cooker. He's not a cooker.
I know.
He's a gardener.
But I'm sure Timo can cook some stuff.
Timo gosta de andar com a mangueira na mão, ter água nos tais, nos peppers. He likes the hot pepper stuff. That's what he likes.
Nah, good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, thank you for joining us and everyone that's coming in tonight on tonight's podcast, episode number 420. 420 for those of you who get that reference. We'll look back at the Guimarães game and we'll look ahead to the Barça game, which is tomorrow. Match day 2 for Benfica, and then Portimonense, which comes up this weekend. That's what we got on tap for this week's podcast or videocast, or whatever you want to call this. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. Carlos just joined us. Carlos, big hug to Carlos. He gets up at 9:30 in the morning.
Wait,
wish I could get up at 9:30 in the morning.
Carlos, what's up, buddy? Is this the Carlos that we met at Red Bull Arena?
No.
Well, either way, hello, Carlos. Desculpa, eu ia te mandar abraço, mas não és esse, então esquece. But hug anyway, all right? The other guy was a Carlos too, no? No, John.
Yeah.
Tô lixo. John.
The 2 brothers?
Yeah, John.
Yeah, John and George.
There's Carlos.
John Amaral and George Amaral.
Carlos, see, that was... What's his name?
Amaro.
Amaro. It was Amaral. Like, they're missing the L, bro. That messed me all up. Carlos, shout out, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get right into the Guimarães game. Benfica traveled up north to the birth city of Portugal to play Guimarães. Always a tricky game up there. As you know, the Guimarães has a fan base who's very typical. If you're a fan of Guimarães, you're a fan of Guimarães. In most places, you're a fan of Benfica, and then you're a fan of also the local club, but not the Vitosh, as they're called.
It's also it's funny because they both like to call themselves Vitorianos, which is Vitória de Setúbal. When you go to Setúbal, when I go to visit my family, there is no Benfiquista, Portista, Sportingista. They're Vitorianos, and that's it. It's Vitória. And I'm like, I'm Benfica, Vitória. They get it, like, they're hardcore.
Serious,
so
man.
I guess it's got to do with the Vitória stuff. I guess they take that real serious. And look, credit to them. It's a fantastic atmosphere. It's it's one of those places that it's fun to watch on TV, but it's not fun if you're wearing the other team's colors and you go in to visit that ground. So
Absolutely right. Some people have made to strip their shirt off if you're not sitting in the right section in that stadium.
we had the
for sure.
situation a few years ago, right, where the cop was beating on the parents on the
Oh
the
yeah,
dude.
that was in Guimarães.
That was in Guimarães. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's not a fun away game to go to if you just decided to go chill with one of your boys. You better be going with a whole lot of boys.
Yeah, it hasn't been it's not a fun game, but Benfica has had a very good success in the past 8 games, 8 wins over there. Now add another one to the tally. So last 9 trips to the Dom Afonso Henriques, 9 wins for Benfica. Let's start with the lineup. Vlaco Dimos was in goal. Verissimo Otamendi and Vertonghen. Lazaro, who got his it was the first start for Lazaro.
I believe so. In the
Yeah, Grimaldo on the other side, Weigl and João Mario, Rafa, Yaremchuk, and Darwin were the 3 up front. So no surprises here, with the exception of Lazaro. But when you know that Diogo Gonçalves was hurt and Gilberto Carlos was probably busy recording his single,
the number 1 hit. Casey Stearns top 40. Look, the only
Casey Stearns, Casey Kasem.
Yo, if you don't correct me, it flies. It would have passed. Look up some of your thoughts. What was I gonna say, bro? The only surprise to me is that they actually played this game, because had they listened to me on Thursday night, I thought it was going to be 3-1. They could have saved a whole lot of headaches for everybody and fatigue. They could, you know what I mean? Just listen, watch the Benfica podcast, and I give you the results. What do you think? No?
Sounds good to me, man.
You give me the results, and I'll put the money down on the bet, and then we make some money.
Well, listen, I think that opens up a good segment on the show, right? Bets with Cristiano.
Oh yeah,
where you give your
you're
lock of the week.
Bets with Cristiano, where you're guaranteed to lose money every week.
So, in other words, bet against what Cristiano's suggestion is.
Normally, yeah, bro. There's a couple of guys I hang out with, and the running joke is, comes to NFL, like, Saturday evenings, whatever. Like, yo, bro, who you like? And whoever this dude picks, we just go opposite, and it's a resounding kick ass. Like, it's amazing. Anything this guy touches turns into mush. So,
there's guys like that.
We're going to do one of those. So, bet with Cristiano, guaranteed to lose money. Just go opposite. But now, if you would have went opposite this week, and you would have lost.
That's right.
So, hey,
you got it right on the money.
Hey.
3-1 as the score line, and Cristiano hit it.
Participate at your own risk. That's it.
So, a good half by Benfica, I would say, creating a few chances, pressing high. Obviously, the message was let's get this game done and finished very early on, so we could so we could rest and manage the game, because you had the Barcelona game coming up, so you want to save some legs, manage the game. So 30th minute, Yaremchuk off of feet for Vertonghen. Classy chip, a Matador style finish over the keeper for the 1-0 Cristiano.
Look, before I even get to the goals, I just have to touch up on the initial start, the part of the game where Guimarães came out to play. Obviously, they were at home. They were trying to get a result. They created a few chances. Luckily for Benfica, nothing too dangerous. Vlaco Dimos had to intervene a couple of times, but just, I just wanted to say that this wasn't one of those whoop passes that Benfica normally gives on the road. At least for the initial 15 to 20 minutes, I thought Guimarães held their own. But then after that, it was just Benfica steamrolled Guimarães after that. They created chance after chance. There's no way in hell the game should have gone into the halftime at 2-0. I thought it could have been a lot worse. And I'll tell you, I've said this over, and especially to you, I think I must talk your ear off, every week after the show and throughout the week on the phones. If you give Yaremchuk half, a third, a tenth of the opportunities that Darwin gets, the dude's gonna lead he's gonna lead the league in goals without a shadow of a doubt. And you see that opportunity. He gets a beautiful pass. Who was it?
Vertonghen.
Vertonghen. Beautiful pass. I mean, look, there's the reason why some of these guys had long-lasting careers in the EPLs, because they're able to pick up their head and pick out a pass. And phenomenal job by him. It's not one of those Rui Vitória plays bombos up the field. And so credit to Vertonghen, great vision, and then credit to Yaremchuk to make the run, get in behind the defense, and then once he gets 1-on-1 with the goal, he was able to chip him opposite post. Cool, calm, and collected, as cool as the other side of the pillow. Phenomenal finish. And if that guy finishes at this level, and he did have a couple other chances that I thought he could have done better, but still, he's a guy that just got to Benfica, still feeling his way around things, but you can tell that this guy is a matador. He's got that ability to make a huge difference with that beautiful finishing ability of his. And, that was a great sign of things to come. You called for a hat trick.
Yeah, there was a game that we were obviously
chatting,
on
and
a chat.
he could have very well gotten it. But it's not just a Yaremchuk. You had other guys on the field that created chances. I thought Benfica had other opportunities. You have a Rafa opportunity off of a cross, not a cross, but I guess it was off a corner kick, and then the ball comes back out. Somebody, I forget what it is, gets him back into the box, and I think Vertonghen traps it with his chest, and Rafa tries opposite post. They just had chance after chance. I thought Benfica played possibly right up there with the best 20 minutes of the season so far for them. And like I said before, they could have definitely gotten into the half with a much bigger lead than what they did. But it's good to see when Benfica plays like that. It's good to see Benfica pile on the pressure, create chances, and I think the one impressive thing about this game was that, we often here on the podcast talk about against Monkus, talk about the competition. And look, I understand Vitória Guimarães is not, the 1960-62 Real Madrid squad, but they're one of the stronger squads in the Portuguese league. So it's a very impressive showing by Benfica, and it's particularly in that first half.
Yeah. No, and on a chat that we were having, what I thought was because Darwin has been on such a hot streak, that I felt that there was going to be a lot more attention paid to Darwin, which now opens a little bit of an opening for Yaremchuk. And when look, you have to be extremely confident to have the finish that he had in that first goal. And when you see a guy having that finish, you know that if we get him the ball, he's going to have the confidence, he's going to have the touch to put him in the back of the net. And so much so that he grabbed the second goal, even though, albeit, I felt that could have been an own goal, because the angle where he was at, when he hit the ball, if the ball doesn't hit the defender, I think the ball is coming away from goal, not into goal. But they give him the goal.
You put in the carriage ahead of the horse.
Voila.
Right? Which we've seen this before with the Portuguese league officials. I don't remember who it was, but I don't know if it was Jonas. A few seasons ago, somebody at Benfica TV guys kept giving the guy an extra goal, but the league didn't give him a goal. Remember? I forget. You guys recall that?
Yeah, it was Jonas.
It might have been Jonas. Yeah. So,
look. Was it Jonas or was it Vinicius?
Might have been Vinicius. It was Vinicius. I think
that he ended up losing because of that game, that goal, right? He ended up losing the goal scorer.
But you listen to Elder Conduta on Benfica TV, 24 goals. And then you go to paper the league, 23 goals. And then it's just like, quem mais teimoso? And I guess the league era mais teimoso and then went out. But what I'm trying to say is that no much forgets ainda, because the league may very well change that, because I'm with you. I'm not sure that, I'm 100% positive. I wasn't going on goal. I think he put it across and the defender deflected it on goal. So if you go by the rule of the lay of the law, right? Yeah. It's an own goal. But look, we take it. At the end of the day, it's a goal that counts for Benfica, and that's all that matters. But as far as the standings go, goal standings, that might be one that the opposition is going to want to review, because I'm not so sure that was going in on goal.
Yeah. No, and I thought that as we went into the locker room, I thought that the result was indicative of what the game had been so far. Benfica 2-0, clearly on top of Vitória Guimarães having a little bit pockets of pressure and of space and trying to do some things, but that first half was all Benfica. How'd you see the first half, Dave?
I saw it the same way. I thought what Guimarães was lacking was a real finisher, because they would get these flares from Edwards down the flanks there, and they'd have the chances and get it into the box, but then really there was nobody there to finish any of these opportunities, and that ultimately carried on to the second half as well. You can tell this Marcus Edwards player has potential. I'm still surprised he's with Guimarães, but yeah, they would create chances, but I just felt that they lacked that real finisher in the center of the box there to put away any of their chances that they created.
Yeah, I think the second half, I think Pippa makes a little bit of an adjustment that now he brings in Marcus Edwards a little bit more inside, and then you started seeing him. I think that he took advantage of the space that was in between Lazaro and Weigl. Obviously, the space that Weigl operates in is a much bigger space. So I think that he told him, get away from that side, try to come in behind Weigl, and really in the first half and the second half, the first couple chances were all Guimarães, with Marcus Edwards getting a few good looks that he couldn't put away. But understanding how the crowd was responding to how Guimarães came into the game, if Guimarães scores that goal, it's going to become a different game.
Well, when I was waiting for you to finish, just to add that, like Dave said a better finisher. I'm going to go even further. A better team. Benfica's in real trouble here. And I understand it looked like a dominant first half, but even in that first half, before I get to the second, even in that first half, early on, as I stated, in the first 15, 20 minutes, they created plenty of chances. And then in the second half, right, which is just, it's one of those
clearer chances in the second half. It's not just that,
but it's one of those revolving doors, right? Year after year, Cristiano Oliveira comes on a podcast and asks and wonders what the hell goes on in the locker room, because these teams are able to make adjustments and come into the second half, and Benfica's on the ropes until they kind of find their way around. Sometimes we're able to turn it around like we did in this game, but in other games we just can't recover, and it just seems like these teams are making the adjustments that we can't make, and I don't understand why, because we're paying these managers, an absurd amount of money compared to our opposition to make these adjustments, and for some reason they can't read it, they can't see it. But had we played a better team,
yeah, as Bruno says.
Who's Bruno?
As Bruno says there on his comment.
I'm very worried if a good team. Oh,
you
Freddie.
Have to read the comments. Basically,
Freddie Bruno. I didn't read it. I didn't see. But exactly.
It's echoing your sentiments.
Had we played a better opposition, Benfica, I think we're too leaky in the back, and that's why coming into tomorrow's game against Barcelona, a wounded dog, a Barcelona, as I've stated. Again, we'll get into that, but I stated before many times, if there's ever a time you want to play, it's now. But they have the ability to make you pay for those few occasions, for those few scoring opportunities. And Guimarães, luckily for us, they didn't. Benfica had, the fortitude to turn things around. JJ made a couple of adjustments, and look, we got the third goal. João Mario gets on the score sheet, gets his first league goal in a Benfica shirt. I'm excited and ecstatic and thankful that Sporting thought he sucked. And so we, what's that word? Someone's garbage is someone's.
One man's trash is another man's gold.
You complete me, bro. See what I mean? See, you read me. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, look, all in all, a decent game. There's a couple of things we got to talk about the Darwin, but I just
let me ask you something real quick about the defense, right? Looking at the three guys in the defense, and you can't blame it all on the defense, because you're talking about a defensive transition, you're talking about the midfield not closing up the gaps, so you can't just blame it on the defense. But looking at the defensive line, you got guys, Otamendi, extremely experienced. You got Vertonghen, extremely experienced. And you got Verissimo, who's a guy who's been around. He doesn't have the experience of the other two. Do you think that those guys, because of their experience and because of their quality, that they could sometimes be a little bit overconfident based on the teams that they're playing?
Look, I think both of those guys have been around the block. I think they're, excluding Verissimo, right? Verissimo was a player that just got to Europe, and he's done well here so far. But those other guys have been around the biggest stages of European football, national team level, World Cups. And, these guys have a ton of experience. I don't think they ever take their foot off the pedal for an instance. I just think that sometimes you have to tip your cap to the opposition. You are playing against other teams that are exposing you. They're looking for those spaces in the field, looking to get in between. And look, say what you want. Those two guys with all the experience, with that age on their back, they're not exactly getting faster as the days go on. So I think other teams exploit those opportunities, exploit those spaces in the field that they have an opportunity to get in behind them, and credit to them. But I just think that maybe JJ needs to. I don't want to criticize him because look, so far this year everything's been roses, but that 3-4-3 with guys on the outside that aren't exactly what's the best word? I mean, whatever. They're exactly not the best guys when it comes to the defensive third. You got a Grimaldo that could go forward, but we all know that he lacks a lot defensively. And Lazaro, bless you, Lazaro just joined, so we really haven't gotten a real read on his defensive abilities. I think sometimes when you have those types of guys going forward, you're really leaving three guys at the back, and there's just a lot of room to expose. And you have players like the Richard, no, the what's the guy Edwards, right? Who I still, Dave, I'm with you. I can't believe he's like Guimarães still. I mean, this guy needs to sign with George Mendes because he's a quality player. I think there was rumors in the offseason.
Maybe because he's American. If he was a
British,
Brazilian,
he's not American.
He's British.
He's British.
Is he British?
Yeah, he's British.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
He I'll tell you this much. There was rumors in the summer that he was possibly going to Alvalade and joining Sporting, and I was I don't want to say devastated, but I was pretty upset because I think that this kid has the upside, has the ability to play out. You know,
were you as upset as you were with Fabio Cardoso after today? Maybe not, right?
I didn't even watch today's game, so you got exposed today. Is that what you're saying? I didn't watch today's game. I mean,
the whole team got exposed.
I was watching my Milan lose to my boy João Felix. That's the game I was paying attention to.
Yeah.
Did Milan get robbed there, Chris, in that game?
Well, we're getting off topic here. Dave, what'd you think of I lost my train of thought. Dave, what'd you think of the second half, man? And really Benfica's, because here's the thing. I feel that Benfica controlled the second half, but it wasn't a complete shutdown. That they left a lot of openings, and by chance,
who's that, Benfica?
Yeah, by chance, and also, you know, as Cristiano Libori was saying, they don't have no forward that's Stupinan. If they put a ball away, man, it's a different game, man. It's a different game.
That goes along with what we've all said here so far, that you play against an opposition with better quality.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know, it's not an easy breezy walk in the park as it was.
Right.
It's very concerning because when you're going up now in the Champions League, a wounded Barcelona, it's still, they have the players that could absolutely fazer a diferença, and all of a sudden Benfica is going to be in real trouble here. So luckily it was a team in the Portuguese league, you know, one of the better teams in the league, but a team that as you guys all said, that lacks that matador up front, that lacks that go-to guy. They have Quaresma, who's got magic in his feet, but he's 38 years old. Edwards, that could absolutely beat you with pace, with agility, with the Ginga, but they missed that one guy. And so things could have gone really interesting. And, you know, we hope that JJ and his coaching staff look at video, look at these things and tighten the things up and make some of the, you know, the adjustments that need to be made, because things can get ugly with the better opposition.
Yeah. Dave, in the past few seasons, we've seen a tale of two halves for Benfica. This Benfica this season, albeit not always dominant and not always in control, it's also a team that leaves you the feeling that they won't give up a goal. Is that how you felt as you're watching the second half, even after Guimarães having those flurries of opportunities to start?
Yes and no. It depends on which half of the second half you want to look at. Because in the first half of the second half, I definitely felt confident. But like I believe it was who was it here in the chat? Bruno Rodriguez said, as soon as Weigl and João Mario got subbed off, it was kind of a different midfield and a different game where Guimarães was really pressing forward and Benfica couldn't really withstand the attack with Amaite and who was the other individual that came on? Oh, Jedson also came on there. So I felt pretty confident, but we did still have to withstand that final push there in the last 10 minutes of the game. That was a little worrisome, but ultimately at that point we're up 3-1. Even if we concede another one, does Guimarães have enough time to score another one to tie the game up?
Yeah, we were a bit wasteful, you know. Couple breakaways come to mind. The one specifically with Darwin that turned into a shouting match between him and JJ. Then JJ goes to the bench, and you think that he's going to take out Darwin. He doesn't take out Darwin. He takes out somebody else. And Darwin thought he was definitely coming out. Was it? He was so engaged. I don't know if you could call it engaged. I guess you could call it engaged. He was so heated between him and JJ. Cristiano, give me your thought on that. As a coach,
I stay quiet.
as a coach, you take him right out. You don't even sub a guy.
I
At
was
that.
gonna sit this one. No, not. See, I don't. No, not because again, I don't know about the rest of you guys, and you know me, with my ADD, I'm doing 50 million things at once. But I didn't get to see a close up. I don't know if you were just like, bro, I tried. Like, 'cause sometimes you, in his
It
mind,
was more than that.
I don't. That's what I didn't see it. I saw that.
It was more than that.
I think the
It kept going.
I think the Sport TV guys had an orgasm there because they thought there was going to be a telenovela coming out of this one, because I think that's the most excited they got throughout the whole game. You know what I mean? They were just so upset every time Benfica did something positive. And when that, they're like, oh my God, oh, Jorge Jesus, and I'm just like, and I think I did one of these. And I guess if they show the replay, I'm being honest, I missed it. Now, do you like to see that? No. Have I been involved in shouting situation with managers? Absolutely. So I'm gonna defend that side of things. And again, I have to take the context.
Maybe you were a wrong person to ask.
I'm the wrong person to ask, because again, I don't know what was said. Again, if I saw a close up and I kind of saw his reaction, I could, and maybe I should have looked for it, because obviously I am coming here on the Benfica podcast afterwards. But again, I have to see what he said. I mean, could anybody, was he telling him to F off? Was he telling, look, I tried? And because sometimes, like, oh, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. It didn't come out. Like,
No, it was one of those. And then JJ yells back at him. And then he yells back at JJ. So it wasn't just like, I yelled back at you and you say something to me. No, it just kept going.
Maybe JJ was asking him, Opa, que la merda te boom. And he screamed back, up, I need 3 sugars. And you know what I mean? Like, we all think it's, because that whole Uruguayan tea stuff, you don't know what the confusion was. Again, I didn't get to see a close up. So, and JJ, look, to his credit, for a guy that is a bruto, I thought in the post game press conference, he was like, look, and for those of you that say he likes to pick on some people and others, he said, look, I don't think you guys understand this, but I'll explain it, right? Which is, in the game of football, things happen. And look, I thought he gave a perfect answer. So he could have, he was politically correct.
You nip it in the butt. You nip it in the bud right away.
When you're again, I've said this here on the podcast 50,000 times. I can't believe Benfica spent that amount of money on this guy. That's number one, and you all know that. So when you spend that type of money on that guy, your patience level, it's just a little bit.
It shrinks, or
not shrinks. You're allowed a little bit more, leeway. You can scream. Because again, he can't bury this guy.
He's no Messi, right?
Benfica, he is at Benfica for that money. League record fee maybe had to be a Messi. So with that price tag, Benfica can't. And I think Jorge Jesus is smart in this. He can't bury the guy. It's taken Benfica a year and now 3 months or whatever it is, to get this guy's confidence, to rebuild him again, right? A guy was missing in action. Like, he couldn't deal with the pressure. You finally, you thought you had him on the right track with a brace in back-to-back games, and all of a sudden, my man lost his mojo once again. But you see it's a work in progress, and you're almost there, and you can't just cut him off and start all over again. So I think JJ, as I stated in previous 2 podcasts ago, when we talked about Everton, you'll have to massage some egos. And the greatness of a coach, of a manager, is obviously you got your system, you got your methods, you have your tactics, you have your way of doing things. But at the same time, you also have to be a master manipulator. You have to be a master, a guy that could deal with personalities and egos. Because, look,
You think that JJ is that guy?
He showed me this week that he is. He showed
Maybe
me
he's
this week.
changed.
He showed me this week
Because
that he is.
if anything about JJ, man management is not one of his best skills.
If this was before, you think Darwin would have been sub?
He would have pulled him out
Was
before
he
the
sub?
sub was even ready to go in.
But that answers your question. So he is a change. I mean, he's changed. He's learned something.
But you're right. There's a lot of psychology behind that.
Look, there's
decision.
guys that perform, and see, I was the type of player that.
But let me ask you this:
you could criticize me, but in a positive way, positive criticism. I'll run through a wall for you. You come at me the wrong way, it's over. Like, see, different people react differently. And that's the greatness of a manager. That's why these guys get the money. They have to. Look, I talk to Alfredo differently. I'm going to treat Dave different. Cristiano's. We're all different. And that level of understanding and compassion, right, from a coach only goes as far as what your ability is.
Yeah.
Because of the Diogo Gonçalves of the world and the Gilberto, what's his name, last name? Diaz?
Gilberto Carlos.
Gilberto Carlos. I'm terrible with names, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even trying to be funny. It happened. Like, those guys, they could get plenty of those guys. But when you spend $25 million on this guy, we're going to sit there and be patient, and we're going to massage your ego.
That's tough, man.
Because they have to get their return back.
Yeah. Yeah, and Thiago is basically a breakaway. It's Yaremchuk, Darwin, and Rafa, 3 against 2, and Darwin just can't make the right decision, and he gets swallowed up by the defense.
Saucy's saying that he decides to dribble. I don't think he decides to dribble. I think his touch is terrible, and I don't think he has the ability to turn his body and
couldn't
pick
make
the guy
decision.
out. No, I don't think he has the ability to make a 30-yard pass. And so he took an extra touch, and we all know his touch is long, and it's just
Wait, Brun says I still have some patience for Darwin, but I've lost it all for Everton.
Why Everton? What?
Darwin runs and fights, and Everton looks like
Everton's not even playing.
Less.
Everton's chillaxing on the bench.
No, I get that. I think that what Darwin lacks in technique, he makes up for in fight, but that's not enough. And what Everton has in technique, he doesn't have in fight. I get it. You could have a perfect player with that if you could balance him out somehow. But Dave, what did you think, man? It was awful, and then that exchange. But I'm glad that JJ put that to bed right away.
Yeah, he could have made, if he subbed him off right away, then it would have been a talking point for the next week, and the media would have had their heyday for it, right? But it's a little bit of both. If that's Pinu that makes that, Pinu's off, right? Because who's Pinu? He's a free transfer.
Gonçalo Ramos.
Yeah, he's probably sent to the B team for the rest of the season.
He's sent from the field straight to the bus. Not even a shower.
Yeah. Maybe to the beach too, right? To do training, but it's a little bit of both, right? But as long as it doesn't become a regular occurrence with Darwin, now that he knows, I can get away with this because I have this price tag, and they're gonna not let me go, right? If it's becoming a habit, then I think we have to put him in line. And who's to say JJ didn't lay into him in the dressing room too, right behind closed doors where it should be?
Probably did.
But
dude, I'm surprised, Dave.
You're surprised.
I'm really surprised because we have seen JJ go after guys while still on the field after the final whistle.
Which guy?
What, Cardozo?
Yeah, what's this? It was Cardozo. No, Cardozo went after him.
But he's done that in Brazil. He's done that in Portugal. I've seen him go after players. I want to say, maybe Florentino. Last year.
Cara foi na igreja, mudou.
I don't know. Something happened, dude. Something happened to JJ.
He went to church.
But I'm liking the fact that he was able to psychologically work through that because he understands that. Number one, Seferovic is hurt. Gonçalo Ramos probably doesn't really count. And he said, well, do I really want to bury this guy, as Cristiano mentioned, when we have spent all this time? And you also got the the shrink that works with the team, which is a Brazilian guy.
He's back.
God,
Well, Benfica,
God knows how much he's worked with with
JJ.
Darwin.
With JJ.
And JJ too.
Didn't Benfica had one for a long time, and he just not too
No,
long
it's
ago.
the same dude.
No,
It's the same dude. I'm telling you, it's the same dude.
no. Benfica had one. I think he retired.
No,
Yes, Alfredo.
it's the same. That guy goes with JJ everywhere.
No, but Benfica's had one for like ever, and he retired. They had a
He
special,
was in the
they had a
psychologist.
special on him on the ball and everything.
I
telling
think he was
you guys
talking about
listening,
Bento Leitão. He was a doctor.
Oh, okay. That way. Never mind. I thought it was the guy because I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? We'll talk about it some other time.
Yeah, Cesar says that I think that last season injected a good dose of humbleness at JJ. Very true.
No,
Could possibly.
yes and no, because we saw JJ even from the very beginning. He wasn't himself.
Last year,
Before the results
he was
stopped,
very tame.
he was like, remember? And I'm like, yo, what the? Even
was very
before
tame.
started rolling downhill, it was like, yo, what? And then all of a sudden, I guess maybe the guy that is smart. JJ always thinking 10 years ahead. Maybe he saw those terrible results because like, "Epa, deixa baixar a bolinha."
Yeah, Baixada Bolinha is right.
Because you've seen him, like even the initial start, he's like, it wasn't him. I don't know.
No, Baixada
He's-
Bolinha is
He
right.
said he learned a lot in Brazil about respect for his opposition and whatnot, and this and that. He did enjoy yelling at Gabriel though. Carlos, that's for sure. Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Who doesn't enjoy a good yelling at Gabriel? Now he's on Algarrafa.
he's at Algarrafa. Dave, some stats on this game so we can move on to the next topic.
Yeah, let's get into it here. Yaramchuk returned to the score sheet with a brace, had a total of 6 shots, 3 were on target, 2 of them led to goals. And Rafa with 2 assists in this match brings him tied with most assists in the league with 3 so far this season.
How many goals is that for Yarmchuk now?
4, I believe.
That's it.
Yeah, because he went quiet there for a bit.
I thought it was 5, but 4 or 5.
Let me see here.
If it was 5, it might be 4 after the league takes that
It's
one away
4.
anyway.
Yeah, no, it's
It's 4. He scored one against Santa Clara, and then the other one against Aruca, and that's it. So yeah, 4.
yeah.
There was one he scored in the Champions League that got called back. That one was one that they changed to own goal.
Yeah. All right. That's good. That's all you got, Dave? Stats?
That's all. That's it.
All right. Let's move on now to the next topic, which is Barca. Right?
Los Cules.
We've been talking about this for a while now, in terms of Barca. That I think we all got scared when we saw Barca. But understanding of what Barca is going through right now, Messi leaving, not the best start of seasons. I think we're all very not super confident, but we're comfortable that Benfica could have an extremely good game against Barca. Dave, you have some stats on this game that you want to throw up before?
Yeah, this will only be the 8th official meeting between these two historic clubs. History is not in Benfica's favor, though. Coming into this match, previous 7 outings, only 1 win, 3 draws, and 7 losses. I think the 1 win was back in the 60s. So recent history not in our favor either. Barcelona not having the strongest seasons under Ronald Koeman. 12 points from their first 6 La Liga matches, 3 wins and 3 draws, and they suffered that 3-0 defeat against Bayern in match day 1 of the Champions League.
Yeah. So I mean, you really can't ask for a better time to be facing Barca, even though they're just beaten Levante 3-0.
What's his name? Freddie Wap came back.
Freddie Wap.
Oh, and to
Ansu Fati,
and
whatever.
to
Freddie Wap.
Ansu Fati came back
Is
and
he
he
a
scored.
rapper, Freddie Wap?
Came back.
Freddie Wap.
Came back and after being out 10 months with a knee injury and came back, scored in his very first game. So look, here's the thing: is Barca down in the dumps now? Yes, when you compare them to the Barcelona, what you expect of a Barcelona, absolutely, but they still have players that could absolutely create a lot of havoc. Guys that could come in and pose a tremendous threat to Benfica. We're hoping that the turmoil going on at the club, the uncertainty with Ronald Koeman, and all going on with the presidents and all this, and whether it's my guy, he's not my guy, all that shenanigans. We hope that plays into the players' mentality a little bit as a Benfiquista, obviously. But I still expect it to be a very tough game. Barcelona, as you stated, they struggled to kick off here their La Liga season. And a win in the Champions League is a win in the Champions League. It's a way for them to right the ship. It masks a lot of things, at least for another week. It buys the club, it buys the players, it buys the coaching staff, the people under pressure at the club. It buys them some time. You kick the can down the road with a win in the Champions League, and you survive another day. And I think that's exactly what they're going to look to do: come into side to lose, impose their football. And I think Benfica is going to have a very, very tough matchup tomorrow. Now, that being said, for the 500th time here on the Benfica podcast, if there's ever time you want to play Barcelona, it's now, because of all the reasons I just said, of all the uncertainty, of all the turmoil at the club. But Benfica still has to play. We're talking about a club that is in turmoil themselves.
Yep.
They had a terrible season last year. Their president is locked up. I mean, so it's the turmoil bowl. You know what I mean? It's so
the turmoil bowl. You heard it here first.
The turmoil bowl. So I think it's not going to be a walk in the park like everyone is expecting. So my advice to everyone listening, to all the Freddys in the chat, and all the Freddys that don't even know they're Freddys at home, but they'll soon be Freddys. My advice to these people is, what's the word out for you? Complete me outside. You lower your expectations, like that you disappoint. How does it go? Lower expectations.
Expect
low
nothing,
expectations.
you won't be disappointed.
There you go.
Yeah, whatever that. So, that's what I would do for right now.
I think if anything, I think that obviously Benfica still has to be aware of that they're playing Barcelona, and Barcelona has the level of. They might not have a coach at their level right now, but they have the players with a very high level. It's still Barcelona. You got the pie. You got
Memphis.
You got Memphis. Coutinho. You got Coutinho.
Who hasn't done crap,
you got
but he's still
Ansu
there.
Fati. You got Busquets, who's probably going to play. I mean, look,
the little Putu that played in like 80 games last year with the Olympic team and all that.
Yeah, Sergio Dest. Is it?
No, that's
no,
right back. That's the American.
The American kid.
That's the American. What's his name, dude?
Pedri.
That guy. Got that guy. We have a lot of good players still on
look,
that team.
it's a team that could hurt you any day.
You have the young. You have the
100%. But the thing is that if anything, and if Benfica is reading this moment by Barcelona, what I hope is that, albeit respecting Barcelona, Benfica has to be aware that they could beat this Barcelona team. Because if we give Barcelona too much respect, especially at home, it's not going to be pretty. So I think that the team has to be aware that they have the ability to beat this Barcelona team. This is far from being the Ronaldinho Barcelona or the Messi Barcelona or the Barcelona of 2-3 years back, but it's still a team that could hurt you.
Look, if I'm JJ, tomorrow when we show up to Estadio de Luz,
põe a caraça.
You come up. I don't know where it's at, bro.
Tá aí.
Oh, it's right here. Tomorrow.
Vai lá, fala aí. Daí a palestra, mister.
When we come into the locker room, you bring out the tape, and JJ starts off with "Su Sheriff fez o que fez no Bernabéu. We can do it at the Estadio de Luz. Sheriff makes it all possible. We can make it possible as well. It's only a dream. Believe in miracles."
O JJ, I didn't know that JJ had that good of English. Como é que ele dizia isso em português? Diz lá em português.
Acreditamos nos milagres.
O JJ boss.
Timo's saying take it to PK. I think Timo is still hurt that PK's got shake and bake in the hips. Can you hip?
Is Shakir?
Yeah. Yeah, Timo's jealous.
Yeah,
But no, but for real, I play the tape of Sheriff and say, if these guys from the Maldives could do this, we can do this. And this is a team that, as I've stated before, for all the obvious reasons in turmoil, look, this could be possible. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to step up to these European games and play and represent the name on our shirt, represent our badge, as opposed to this crap of bullshit that we've been doing in these European competitions. We need to, at the very least, impose our respect and impose our football, impose our will on the opposition at our own stadium, and in particular, a team that's a wounded dog today. We have an opportunity here to turn these horrible numbers, as Dave stated: 1 win, 3 draws, and 7 loss. Right? Is it 7?
3 losses in 7 meetings. So 1-3-3.
Okay, whatever. We got to win to an opportunity here to put one on the win column and get some positive vibes to the stadium, get our fans, get our players to believe, because at the end of the day, beating a Barcelona, wounded or not, is still. It's still a big accomplishment for a team of the likes of Benfica with the budget that Benfica has and yada, yada, yada. And so Benfica needs to start getting their respect and playing their football and spreading the name Benfica throughout European football. And what better day to start than tomorrow at home against Football Club Barcelona?
Look, I think it's the right time. It's the right time to go in it with the right mentality, because if you go in it with the wrong mentality, it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be pretty. But you have to have the right mentality about it. You got to be confident in your abilities. You got to put away your chances, and you can't be having temper tantrums with the coach.
Jeez.
But it's Grimaldo's already said this is going to be a special game for him. Obviously, him being formed in the La Masia is going to be a special game for him. But I'm scared of what who's gonna go against who's gonna against Grimaldo Depay?
It's Dest. Well, I don't know, because
Timo was saying that Fatu is gonna go after him.
But Dest is whatever. He's gonna.
It could be Ansu Fati, yeah.
Yeah, but what's his name?
He's gonna have to. Sergi Dest?
Abidal's not Abidal, bro. What's the dude's name? The left back.
He's not playing.
Alba. He's most likely not playing. So there's a possible Sergio Roberto plays on the right, and then you shift Dest, the American, to the left. We'll see what happens. But look, at this point, Alfredo, if they put a Cone on the right side, I have more confidence in the Cone than I do in Grimaldo defending. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if this is one of those games the guy wants to circle on. It's a memorable game. Again, it's memorable, all right. You're gonna have streaks on your underwear. That's how memorable it's gonna be.
Not even Tide is gonna help. That memory is gonna stay forever.
You gotta burn those. You have to burn. No washing those tomorrow.
Lionel says if Benfica don't get the 3 points tomorrow, we should already start packing for the Europa League. This game is a must-win. Dave, is it a must-win?
It's going to be interesting to see. I think it's still very early in the competition. Still another 4 games to go, but
you got back-to-back against Bayern coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult. With putting it nicely, if we only lose by 2, I think it's a positive in the for us there. But looking at this, do we take points at the new Camp Nou if we don't get the 3 points here? That last match day against Dinamo Kiev is going to be back in Lisbon, so are we banking on 3 points there as well? Right, still some games to go. Who's to say Dinamo Kiev doesn't take points away from Barcelona either, right? But obviously we're hoping for a positive result, but I don't want to say must win just yet.
Look, I think I'm feeling a draw tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think everyone that is looking, again, at the terrible turmoil and all the difficulties that Barcelona's having. Again, don't forget, we're going through our own turmoil. I mean, again, all the BS reasons I mentioned before. Set the expectations low. I think a draw at home against the likes of Barcelona, even though not the same Barcelona, is still not a terrible result. It still very much keeps Benfica alive. So look at the glass half full as opposed to a glass half empty. I think tomorrow Benfica comes away with a draw. It won't be the end of the world. I'm feeling a draw. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's 2-2 or 1-1, but I'm
Well,
feeling
we'll get
Florida, man.
into that for your new segment, Cristiano.
I don't
but,
really funny with Cristiano.
Yeah, look, I think I don't see it as a must-win, but if you don't get points from the game, you're not going to be in a good situation. Because
you got to look at the next two games.
Yeah, right.
Dave took a page out of JJ's book. The he's sidestepping. He's like, the next two games.
Because here's the thing, right? So if you could get at least 1 point, you're also taking 2 points away from Barca.
And you're at 2 points, and Barca will be at 0. Barca will still
Correct.
be at 0. And you assume Kiev's going to lose. Benfica's in second place.
Right. So it's not a must win in those terms, because if you take 1 point away, you're taking them away from right now who you think is going to be your direct competition, right? Because Bayern is going to run away with this group. I think that is that's something that's un dado Smith, that Bayern's going to run away. And then we got Bayern up next with 2 games. And it's not going to be pretty, obviously. I'm probably not going to take any points from those 2 fixtures. Then we travel to the Camp Nou, and we finish in Lisbon against Kiev.
Oh, yeah. Who said that? If Barca they get 1 point. You know what I mean, guys. Benfica's still ahead. That's what I meant. Yeah, he's trying to make things complicated. The point was, I said Benfica will be ahead, right? They're still ahead.
Yeah.
But te razón. Good,
all right.
Good. See, that's why we need the Freddys.
We need the Freddys to keep you in
Freddys
check, because neither Dave nor I pay attention to what you say.
I'm used to
we
that.
can't correct you.
I'm afraid, but nobody ever pays attention.
I think we just understand Chris by now. We're so used to his language, we just understand him, right?
Grazie.
Yeah. Half the stuff that he says goes in one ear and comes out the other for me. Even with the headphones on. But now let's introduce our next segment. Locks of the Week by Cristiano, sponsored by no one.
No, brought to you by.
But we're taking sponsors, right?
We're gonna get the chicken fingers.
We're the chicken fingers involved.
Chicken fingers are making an appearance.
So Cristiano, you want to go with your lock for tomorrow's game? So you got a couple options. You go. You could go here.
Oh, right? I got a whole bunch of options.
You got a bunch of options. So you could go
I'm going to draw.
The result.
I'm going to result.
You could go on the exact result. You can go on the outcome of the game.
A draw.
Or you could go on an over-under on the goals.
Over-under 3.
Over-under 3.
No.
Let me write this down.
Which one is the over?
All right. Well, tell me what your...
Dude, I'm real honest to God.
2.5. Over or under?
Calm.
Então vai lá.
I'm pretty set on a draw. Okay. My only question is it 1-1 or 2-2? Now you got to give me the benefit of but like if I'd seen the lineups already, I could kind of, because I don't know. I mean, is JJ gonna come out to play these guys eye to eye, or is he gonna respect the name on the other jersey, the badge on the other jersey, and understand that the other team has the ability to pose a major threat? And does he switch the formation from a 3-4-3? Is he going to play 4-5? So, like, again, you'll have to kind of give me a break here. You can't hold, a sword to my neck on this one, because, again, that lineup between now and then could change a lot of things. So I'm leaning 1-1, possibly 2-2.
So you're going to go for a draw.
I'm going for a draw.
2.5 over or under?
Over or under 2.5? See, that's the 1-1. That's
so okay. So you're under 2.5.
No, I don't know, because
if
right
it's
now
2-2, it's over.
Exactly. Thanks, Dave.
Well, but what's your this is gonna be a trifecta. A parlay.
Alfredo's a man of his word. He just said 2 minutes ago that whatever I say goes in one ear or out the other, and he just proved it. I just finished telling you that right now I'm leaning 1-1, but depending on the lineup tomorrow, I might change. But I'm, you know what I mean? Like if I see
the lineup by who? Benfica?
Yeah, obviously.
You don't know who the lineup is gonna be, dude.
With JJ, you know anything?
It's gonna be the same exact lineup that played against Guimarães.
I don't know if he's going to stay with the 3-4-3.
Well, you think he's going to put another guy in midfield? He hasn't played in that system all year. He's going to go with the same guy.
He's never played left back neither, and he did in the Classic.
Yeah, but as we know, JJ has evolved.
Okay. Hey, look, if it's the same lineup, 2-2.
Okay, so over 2.5 in goals.
Because I think, as we stated earlier, as we talked about the Guimarães game, you give those holes, you give that space, those holes behind the defense, you give that space to Barcelona, they're gonna make you pay. Unlike Guimarães, Barcelona will definitely make you pay for
Okay.
those mistakes.
And let's go with the last one for the parlay. Who's going to score a goal?
For Benfica,
No, for anything.
Rafa.
No, Rafa. You're going to put Rafa?
Rafa's gonna score a goal tomorrow.
Okay, so Rafa will score a goal.
Yeah, because I see Benfica at some point.
So just to recap, I know that you're probably as confused as we are here in the studio, and we're listening to Cristiano. He's got a draw. He's got a draw on the outcome of the game. He's got goals over 2.5, and he's got Rafa as one of the goal scorers. So go put in that parlay on DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever.
And De Jong will score if he plays. Will score a goal for them. How's that? I want to say Brathwaite, but I don't want to disrespect Benfica. So.
He's hurt. He's hurt.
Oh, is he hurt? Okay, good. He makes it easy for me. Okay, great.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna be positive here, and I'm gonna say 1-1. I'm gonna say 1-1. With Benfica probably having some chances to put some more away, but not really putting them away. Dave.
I was going to go 1-1, but I'll go with the Freddys here in the chat. The consensus is showing 2-1 for Benfica then.
2-1 for Benfica.
Vamos ver quem é que come chicken fingers para a semana. Os Freddys ou Cristiano?
And Freddys.
Freddys.
All right, I got it.
Freddys.
All right, so
I'm betting the wife and one of my what? Keep what?
One of the kids, and he's keeping the smarter one.
I'm betting the wife and one of the kids, keeping the smart one.
That's up for them to decide, right?
So anyway, turning our attention now to next domestic game, Benfica and Portimonense. Game happens this Sunday, 6 p.m. local at Estádio Luz. Dave, what's Portimonense been up to this year?
This season, they're currently in sixth with 11 points from 3 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats through the first 7 matches of the season. Historically, Benfica has won 36, drawn 9, and lost only 1. That was the Rui Vitória last game there. Benfica's record at home against Portimonense in league competition, 15 wins, 3 draws. So all positive. Lionel saying you weren't being positive on that 1-1 score line. So that's a positive stat in our
so 15 wins, 3 draws, you said?
Yeah, in at home against Portimonense in league competition. No.
At home. I thought you meant in all competition. Because I was going to say, didn't Rui Vitória get fired after...
Bro, did you not just hear when I just said that? That's the only loss.
Did you? I was reading Saucy when he said Porto B, because I was thinking in my head, that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, Porto B, but then I'm like, there's a couple other teams in the league you can call Porto B. There's too many of them, so people get confused. And then you were talking. So, I mean, blame Saucy for making me read. My thought process got all messed up.
I'm always worried of games after Champions League. I think this in this Portimonense particularly it could be a tricky team, right? So away from the Municipal de Portimão, they have not lost, 2 wins, 1 tie, 5 goals scored, 1 goal allowed. They beat Guimarães and they beat Santa Clara already. And the last loss that they've had came at the end of August.
Okay.
So this is a team, it's still Portimonense, whatever. They're coached by Paulo Sérgio. Nakajima, who is their strongest player, is hurt, won't be playing.
What's the name of the segment again?
We're already past it.
No, what we got? What, that game don't count? So it's just one game. I gotta.
No, you don't want to bet on the easy games. That's an easy game.
I'm not betting.
People want the hard.
I'm giving a score for you to go and bet on.
Okay.
4-0.
4-0.
Wow. 4 macacos a 0. That's it. Who's saying 3-0 in the chat? Saucy? Trying to be like me. I one-upped them. 4-0.
I think this is going to be a tricky one, man. I think it's going to be... I'm going to say 1-1.
E.
3-0, pá. 3-0. 4-0. 4-0. 4-0. Timo says 3-1. Saucy says 3-0 again. Oh, Bruno Rodriguez says 3. I'm lost. This.
I'll
Oh
take
no.
the over. I'll take the over on the 2.5.
Yeah, that's 4, Dave. 3-1, 3. Yeah, I take the over, but it's 4-0. It's in the full my eyes. Sudarin has his good boots on. Guess.
Yeah, I'm curious to see because these games after the Champions League are always extremely tricky.
Force on the road, I'd be a little bit more tame. But
so you think Darwin starts tomorrow in that winger position then, eh?
Yeah, I don't think he messes with that. I don't think he messes.
What messes with it? What's working there? I guess the other option is Everton, though, right?
Yeah, you have to understand, Dave. You have to understand a game like that, and that's why I'm saying, like, so let's slow down a little bit. I think Benfica is going to be under pressure. I think Benfica is going to look to counter, and I think you give a guy, you put a guy like that on the field, who's got that power, who's got the strength, who's got the ability to run with the ball and impose his physicality in the opposition and wear down the opposition. I think he gets the call because of that.
Dave, what's your prediction?
I don't know about the score line, but I'll bet that there's over 2.5 goals scored if we're doing a betting segment here.
Wait, who's going the over, bro? Give the score. What's the score?
Fine, 3-0. If it's
okay,
over 2.5, 3-0.
So like if they win 8-0, oh, I got the over. So I was right.
There you go. That's all that matters.
Dave with the safe bet.
Empato 2-2. Got the over. Told you it was the over. I didn't say it was gonna win.
Yeah.
Whisper my stuff. They winning.
Yeah, no. It's a very tricky. It's a very tricky fixture after Champions League for sure, but I think that
where's Cristiano? Cristiano, did he give his Cristiano says it for SPT, his prognostication.
Oh, he's saving it for SPT.
He was on it yesterday, so I don't know. I didn't see
maybe he's already given it.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe he's
I think Cristiano left.
He's prepping his next meal, his next recipe, and he left.
This was Barca.
Yeah, he says 2-1 North.
This is Barca.
What's he talking about? Liga North? No, 2-1 North. So
this is Barca.
Carlos, I figured.
But 2-1 until the podcast, and then I'll chuckle in resignation and whisper myself. They're winning. Shit.
Yeah. Look, man, it's entertaining. This is what we want, right? We want to be in the Champions League. We want to play in these big time games. We just hope that Benfica comes out and at the very least represents himself. Win, lose, or draw. You want Benfica to play, like they're supposed to play. You see the one thing our rivals from up north, we can't stand, but it comes to Champions League today, excluding today. But they normally, represent themselves well, and they perform at the highest of levels. And Benfica needs to get that DNA back and start changing the culture of the club. And it starts with big games like this. It's one thing, to win a game at home against, I don't know, the smaller teams in the competition, right? I would say Sheriff, but Sheriff is Sheriff. Nobody got no. But when you have an opportunity to win a game like this at the start of the lose, you're playing the likes of Barcelona, and if you could at the very least come out and play well, come out with the draw, predict the draw, and come out and play well, and feel good about yourself. This is how you start to change that mentality.
Yeah,
and it comes from the locker room. Only you, yourself, the players, the coaching staff, they could change it, and they need to play at the highest of levels and need to play well in these games because you need to change that chip. And this is how you start in games like this.
No, look, it's good for it's not only good for the momentum, as Cristiano says, the mentality. Mentality is good. And as you heading into another international break, which is it's silly, right, to have all these international breaks. It'll be good because after you lose games, the last thing you want is when you lose games, the first thing you want is to get back on the field and play, and having to play the champions, having to international break. You can't make an international break. Fala aí. Enche aí chouriço. Oh, is it good? Oh, Well, was it something?
No, it wasn't plugged in.
I wasn't plugged in.
Is
Yeah,
it plugged in?
the laptop was
Plugged
running
in.
out of battery.
Was-
I think it is plugged in. Anyway, we're good now. Any questions that you guys have before we wrap this up?
Yeah, we got a question on Twitter. We got a
Oh, yeah,
comment
question on
in the
Twitter.
question from Michael MJM_83. Benfica Podcast. We need to repeat the same starting lineup again. No JJ overthinking it and doing something crazy, because it's a big game. What CO's projected score line? Well, we gave you all that.
You're gonna have to listen to the podcast.
Mikael, we gave you all that. So, but thank you for the question anyway. And those of you that are listening to the podcast didn't have the opportunity to join the rest of the Freddys here, as you guys know, or if you don't know, obviously, because you're listening to it now, we've nicknamed, whatever you want to call it, the beautiful listeners, our family from abroad that come and join us here on the podcast and join the beautiful live chat. We named you guys the Freddys, so in honor of Freddie Adu. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't like it, oye,
Yeah,
paciencia.
yeah, we can't be talking too much smack because we saw what happened to Porto and Sporting, and we definitely don't want the same situation to apply to us today. Even though that I heard that Sporting played decently.
I heard that Porto is on the same Sporting mindset, which is get absolutely annihilated in the Champions League. So like that, you don't play in the Europa League, and like that, you play one game a week. And
Porto needs that money though.
For what? Guimarães hooked them up with 15 mil for 4 kids in
But they
kindergarten.
have to send 15 mil out back too.
Do they?
It was 15 for 15. There was 4 players involved in that transaction.
Yeah, but
it
was
money
it 15? I'm lost. I didn't do, but I should have.
Yeah, Porto sent 15 million for 2 of Guimarães players, and Guimarães sent 15 to Porto for 2 of their players.
Shady shit.
Buying FIFA 22 on Black Friday. Mais barato.
Are you getting the FIFA on Friday to play?
I already got it.
You already got it?
Come on, bro. I'm being Cristiano Oliveira from the Benfica Podcast. But yeah, I got the PlayStation 5 and it's got dust on it. I don't remember the last time I turned it on. But for those of you listening, the Professor 10, hit me up. I only play pro clubs. I suck at it, but I love it. All right. So pass me the ball and get out the way. Get out the way, bitches. I'm the peasy of PlayStation 5. Division 10, I'm nasty. Get to Division 9, guest.
Yeah. So next week we'll be back and we'll recap the Barcelona game and also the Portimonense game, and then we'll have another vacation.
Otra vez.
For another international
No,
break.
joking aside. I mean, now what
So
is this?
this-
Every other month you got an international break. This is
Unbelievable,
just
man.
And there's
stupid.
another one in November, but too. So
That's
it's
what
like-
I'm saying. Once a month. It's stupid.
It's crazy,
It makes
man.
absolutely no sense. But
It just breaks up. It
And
breaks
they
up
want to add
everything.
more international competitions too, like the World Cup every 2 years.
that's
and
stupid. Whoever thought of that shit gets slapped with a bacalhau.
Well, your boy Nun Gomes thinks it's a good idea.
Well, Nuno don't play for us no more, so you can be critical.
You can criticize him.
who's paying his paycheck for him to say
I
that?
tell you, I'm surprised. I didn't even know Nuno Gomes thing is a fan.
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
One some stupid years ago, Luis Figo said he believes the World Cup should be expanded to 64 teams. Like, come on, dude, just
The FPF has already said that they're against it.
Federação Portuguesa.
Yeah.
Well, what against what? Every 2
Every
years.
2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense. Look, I will agree with this. Today they announced the CONMEBOL, whatever, and the UEFA. They're going to play the European champs against the South American champs, which I'm fine with that. That's cool. It's one game. It's phenomenal. It's, bragging rights. That's going to get the 2 continents, because you always had that question, oh, man, this team, because they don't face each other. Oh, the winner of the Copa America, yada, yada, yada. And again, Copa America invitational tournament. Every 2 years, they got to invite Morocco and the United States and Japan. They invited Portugal a few years back and they rejected it. Again, it's fantastic. They got 9 teams, right? And it's always the same 2 teams in the finals: Brazil, Argentina. Sometimes Uruguay spoils things. Chile did a couple times, but that's it. But it's good for bragging rights. I'm happy. I could get behind that. Now the World Cup every 2 years. Come on. I mean, it's just they're making a mockery out of the sport. It's all about money. That's all they care about. And that's why, for those of you that were all against this European Super League, you guys are dumb, because the people making the decisions all they care about is money themselves.
Yeah.
So at least, you know what? If I get a Barcelona and Manchester United every other week, phenomenal. To me, as a soccer fan, that's all I care about. And if I get Benfica in that league, even better. I hope Porto Sport don't get in it.
Yeah, it was a big outrage because the Super League wasn't thought out by UEFA. It was thought out by the clubs. So that's why there was a huge outrage.
Yeah, because UEFA wasn't getting a cut.
Because if there was a UEFA.
And look, credit to UEFA, because I criticized UEFA when I said, look, this is what we got now. The Champions League, the Super League. But to their credit, and I got to apologize, Sheriff made it into whatever they changed. And credit to Sheriff, went to the roundabout. They pulled off a 1991 Michigan Wolverines, shocked the world upset. Phenomenal. Michigan went on to lose the Final Four anyway, but it was shocked the world at the time, 5-5. But yeah, it's extraordinary what they're doing. But as far as the competition itself, all these people making a decision, man, it's a laughing stock.
Yeah.
They care about money.
Yeah.
And look, as a matter of fact, they can't punish Juventus, Real Madrid, and Barcelona because they won their hearing and trial, that whatever. So they, this is very much alive. And so now they're wondering what's going to happen with the remaining other teams, and what is it, the 7 or 8 whatever English Premier League teams, the ones that accepted the punishment. They can't impose that punishment because the courts have ruled in favor of Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juve. And, of course, UEFA has asked to remove that judge. So that's how it works. If I don't get a favorable decision, let's just remove the judge.
Beautiful. Anyway, so for tomorrow, wear your lucky underwear, your whatever your superstitions are, and it should be a fun one. Go and find the time to watch it because it should be fun. As a Benfiquista, it should be fun. A lot more fun if now that Messi's not there, for sure. Hopefully, let's hope.
Hopefully,
let's hope.
For sure, he's not there.
No, but more fun. More fun.
Actually,
should be more fun.
PSG played today, so he could technically take a private flight. He might be there, just not on the field playing. You're right.
I doubt. Yeah. He might not want anything to do with Barcelona for a while. Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you all the Freddys for joining us and for watching us and keeping us company and the chat very animated. Thank you guys all. Don't forget to check out Benfica Independent. We're part of that project. We're the founding members of that project. So a lot of good stuff going on there. BenficaPodcast.com at 87DO87 at 10DO 10CO10. I forgot that one.
He's the OG.
He's the OG, 10CO10.
I'm thinking about changing it.
That's right. Change it to something a little bit more professional now that you're legit.
Hey, 10CO10 is not legit, bro.
Take care, everyone.
All right, great stuff. Carlos, don't wake up too early tomorrow. See ya, guys. Thank you. Abraço.
Later. Bye.
Ciao.